We explained there are many definitions, but the most concise definition given was that by Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, who explained that ibadah, this word or this term, ibadah, is a term under which, or a term which gathers together many things. And it gathers together everything which Allah loves or is pleased with. Loves or is pleased with. From the sayings and actions which are both outward and inward. Meaning those which can be seen outwardly, and those which cannot be seen but which are inward in a person's heart. And so this definition is the best definition, which is in agreement with what is found in the texts of the book and the sunnah. And then after this we established how do we know that something or some act is an act of worship. We said that we know it in a number of ways. First of all, Allah commands that act. So he will make an explicit command, and we know that if Allah commands something, He will only command something if He loves it or is pleased with it. That's the first way. The second way is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He praises the act. Allah praises the giving of charity, Allah praises the raising of an orphan. So when Allah praises an action, we know that Allah would only praise something if He loves it and is pleased with it. Or thirdly, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He praises the doer of the act. And we find this often in the Quran. Allah praises those who give charity. Allah praises those who establish, the prayer. Allah praises those who have certain qualities in them, like tawakkul. So when Allah praises the doer of an act, that too means that action therefore is something that He loves and is pleased with. So in all these circumstances, we know that something is or comes under the definition of ibadah, because we know that Allah loves it and is pleased with it, because we know that He's either commanded it or praised those who do it. So in light of that, we started in the last lesson, we looked at a number of the types of worship. We looked at ad-du'a, and we said that ad-du'a comprises two things. The first, which the meaning which everybody understands, which is that you simply ask Allah for something. You ask Him for a specific thing. Or Allah forgive me, or Allah have mercy upon me, or Allah grant me success in such and such. This is called the du'a'ul mas'ala, the du'a of asking, the du'a of need, where you ask for a specific thing. The second type of du'a is more general, and it covers all of the acts of worship. And this is because whenever a person performs an act of worship, it is as if, even though he's not verbally saying it, but it is as if by way of him doing this act, he's asking or he's anticipating something from Allah. So it is as if by his action, he is performing dua to Allah, even though verbally he doesn't actually say anything. This is what we call du'a'ul ibadah. So in other words, dua, as it is explained in the Quran, it comprises both of these types of meanings. This is what dua actually means. Right? Most people understand dua to mean just the verbal element of it. So in the book and the sunnah, dua comprises both of these things, the dua of mas'ala and the dua of ibadah. Then we looked at also from the forms and types of worship. We started with dua, and then we moved on to al-mahabba, al-khawf and al-raja, which is love, fear and hope. And because we already discussed them previously, then we just commented on them briefly. And we looked at the proofs from the Quran for each of these three these forms of worship. And we explained how Allah, He has praised the believers who fear Him and have hope in Him. And because Allah praised them, this is a proof that these actions are from worship. Then we moved on to tawakkul, reliance. We touched upon it briefly in the last lesson, so we're going to start off today's lesson, inshallah, from where we left off, which is just really summarizing or finishing off our discussion of tawakkul. And we explained that tawakkul